SETI, S-E-T-I, stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's a word that describes a wide variety of different kinds of searches which are being made all over the world for evidence of the existence of other civilizations in space. Almost all of the searches that are being done with radio telescopes. Our goal is to detect in those searches radio and radar transmissions from other civilizations. The first result that can come from this is simply the knowledge that other civilizations exist in space. That, of course, would be an enormous milestone in the history of human civilization. Why do we search? It is because everything we know about our universe, about our planetary system, and about the origin and evolution of life on Earth seems to say that all of these things were the result of completely normal processes that occur in our galaxy. No special phenomena, no freak events were required for our civilization to exist as it does. Given the enormous number of stars in the galaxy which are like the sun, it follows that there should be many, many civilizations in our galaxy and in other galaxies. If they practice technology, as we do, they are detectable. This is a recent development. Until a few decades ago, our instruments were not sensitive enough to detect reasonable manifestations of intelligent life. That is, they could not detect the same sorts of signals and power levels that we ourselves radiate. However, we have crossed an important threshold in that we have developed instruments which can detect signals no stronger than we radiate across the vast distances which separate the stars. In fact, our present radio telescopes, if used properly, can detect Earth-like signals all the way from the far side of the galaxy. Therefore, it is reasonable to search. There would be an enormous intellectual payoff in the detection of other civilizations. Their mere existence is a very important fact, which will influence our thinking, our philosophy, our outlook on life. We will learn almost certainly facts of science, evolution, biology, and other places which we could not learn by any other means. We would see what prospects there are for the future of civilizations, what becomes of them, how do they manage their resources, what ways of life do they adopt. All of these things are interesting in their own right. At the same time, they may provide very useful information in developing our own resources and planning our own activities.
I'll get back to a couple of your statements a bit later on. You obviously have touched the subject, but I'd like you to be a bit more specific. According to your formula, ours is not the only civilization in the universe. Why do we start with the assumption, scientifically speaking, that there must be other civilizations?
Our theoretical understanding of the formation of stars and our observations suggest that stars are formed. They are formed not alone, but must be accompanied by another object or objects. And indeed, about half the stars in the sky are double stars. We believe, from what we have seen, and our theories again, that the remainder of the stars, or indeed even some of the double stars, are accompanied by planetary systems. The theory of planetary system formation says that some of the planets in these systems will be similar to the Earth, and there's now been a multitude of experiments conducted in the chemistry laboratories here on Earth, which show that where you have a planet like the Earth, the chemistry of life develops quite spontaneously and with vigor. It does not require any special circumstances for the first steps in life to develop. We have not traced as yet the development of first truly living things. We produce the construction of molecules of life, but not the first living things. But we are close to that. And again, there doesn't seem to be any special circumstances required to give rise to a living thing. Once you have living things, they compete for resources, food, ecological niches, and this is a driver for evolution to proceed. And so the picture is one where surely very complicated organisms will develop. Many places. Looking at the history of our own creatures, we see one thing in evolution which has always improved or increased capabilities of the brain. Other things have come and gone. The size of the brain, the speed at which they develop. One thing which has always increased is the brain. And this suggests that you will, in time, may take billions of years to develop intelligence wherever there is life. Now, that intelligence may, in time, develop itself technology. And once you have technology, you have a system, a technological system, which releases energy into space, energy which we may detect and search in the right way. So this is the picture of how we can many modes of intelligent life to be found. Projects I thought could be constructed today exactly that technology. It just takes a lot more of it and a lot of expense. Well, that's an interesting question, a very profound question, and that is, what should you say? Messages intended for the benefit of other civilizations. And there are a lot of different ideas on that. The best answer is sure. But one idea which is largely accepted is that we want to tell the other civilizations the special things about us and our systems. We need not tell them basic science or mathematics. They know all that. So it's silly to tell them what the value of pi is, or what the structure of the carbon atom is, or something like that. They know all that. We're not sure that they know what our biology is. It's possible that our basic biology, system of proteins and DNA, is universal, but we don't know that. If it isn't, then it's very interesting to them, because it's an extremely effective way to make a living thing. So in any case, in designing the Arecibo message and other messages, we've always tried to put in only those things which are special, and we think perhaps unique to us. To describe most of those things, you have to describe things in numbers. Quantities count. So that in most of the messages, the very basic part is to establish a number system so that you can tell them things in numbers. For example, in the Arecibo message, we thought it desirable to describe the structure of DNA. And to do that, you have to give the chemical formula. And to give the chemical formula, you have to give the numbers of carbon atoms and hydrogen and oxygen, whatever molecules. And so you need numbers. We also thought they would be interested in knowing how many there are of us. So again, you need to give a number. To give our size, and so that's why the approach seemed very desirable, almost essential to utilize a number system. In fact, the Arecibo message is the first thing that appears in the message. system used. It's binary.